The global trade landscape is bracing for change. President Trump is poised to announce new tariffs on imported goods. This announcement, expected as early as April 2nd, 2025, has been dubbed Liberation Day by the White House. It signals a potential escalation of the trade tensions that have simmered during President Trump's time in office. These new tariffs come on the heels of previous actions taken by the administration. These past actions included tariffs on Chinese imports, steel, aluminum, and goods from Canada and Mexico. The president's latest move has sparked debate and uncertainty. Businesses and economists are grappling with the potential ramifications. The ramifications are complex and far-reaching. They touch upon a range of issues. These issues include consumer prices, global supply chains, and the delicate balance of international trade. This essay will delve into the rationale behind these tariffs. It will also analyze their potential scope and impact on various stakeholders. President Trump's decision to impose tariffs is rooted in his America First economic policy. This policy prioritizes the protection of American jobs and industries. It aims to reduce the trade deficit and encourage domestic manufacturing. The administration argues that current trade practices put the United States at a disadvantage. These practices, they contend, allow other countries to unfairly benefit from American consumers. The tariffs are presented as a tool to level the playing field. They're designed to incentivize companies to relocate their production to the United States. This relocation, the administration believes, will lead to job creation and economic growth within the country. The tariffs are also intended to pressure trading partners. This pressure is meant to encourage them to adopt more favorable trade policies towards the United States. These policies, the administration argues, should be reciprocal and fair. While the exact details of the tariffs remain unclear, President Trump's rhetoric suggests a broad application. He has hinted at the possibility of imposing tariffs on goods from all countries. This sweeping approach reflects the administration's belief that the United States faces unfair trade practices from numerous nations. The president has specifically called out countries that he believes engage in currency manipulation, intellectual property theft, and other harmful trade practices. However, it is important to note that the administration has also signaled its intention to focus on specific targets. The Treasury Secretary has previously highlighted a group of countries known as the Dirty 15. These countries are accused of imposing particularly egregious tariffs or regulations on American goods. They represent a significant portion of U.S. trade and are likely to be at the forefront of the administration's tariff strategy. The Dirty 15 is a diverse group of countries, each with its own unique trade relationship with the United States. They include major economies like China, the European Union, and Japan, as well as emerging markets such as India, Brazil, and Indonesia. Some of these countries have long-standing trade disputes with the United States, while others have enjoyed relatively amicable trade relations. The inclusion of such a diverse group of countries on the Dirty 15 list highlights the complexity of the global trade landscape. It also underscores the challenges faced by the Trump administration as it attempts to recalibrate America's trade relationships. Each country on the list will likely respond differently to the imposition of tariffs. These responses could range from retaliation to negotiation, depending on their economic interests and political calculations. The potential economic impacts of President Trump's tariffs are a subject of much debate. Proponents argue that the tariffs will protect American jobs and industries, ultimately boosting the economy. They contend that the short-term costs, such as higher prices for consumers, are outweighed by the long-term benefits of a stronger domestic manufacturing base. They also believe that the tariffs will force trading partners to the negotiating table, leading to more favorable trade deals for the United States. However, critics warn that the tariffs could backfire, leading to higher prices for consumers, job losses in industries that rely on imports, and retaliation from trading partners. They argue that tariffs are essentially a tax on American consumers and businesses, and that they are likely to harm the economy in the long run. They also point out that tariffs could disrupt global supply chains, leading to shortages and higher costs for businesses. Section 6. Impacts on American businesses. American businesses are on the front lines of the trade war. Importers will bear the brunt of the tariffs, as they will be directly responsible for paying the increased duties on goods brought into the United States. This added cost could force businesses to raise prices for consumers, potentially dampening demand. Alternatively, businesses could absorb the cost of the tariffs, which could cut into their profits and potentially lead to job losses. The tariffs could also disrupt established supply chains, as businesses may be forced to find new sources for goods that become too expensive due to tariffs. This disruption could lead to delays and higher costs. Furthermore, businesses that export goods to countries targeted by the tariffs could face retaliatory tariffs, harming their competitiveness in those markets. Section 7. The global ripple effect. The impact of President Trump's tariffs extends far beyond the borders of the United States. The global economy is deeply interconnected, and actions taken by one country can have ripple effects around the world. The tariffs could spark a trade war as targeted countries retaliate with their own tariffs on American goods. This escalation could disrupt global trade, leading to higher prices, reduced economic growth, and job losses on a global scale. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned that a trade war would be lose-lose for all involved. The IMF has urged countries to work together to resolve trade disputes through dialogue and cooperation, rather than resorting to protectionist measures that harm everyone. The tariffs could also undermine the rules-based trading system that has underpinned global prosperity for decades. Section 8. Echoes of past tariffs. The current trade tensions are not new. The United States has a long history of using tariffs to protect domestic industries and influence the behavior of trading partners. In the 1930s, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, which raised tariffs on thousands of imported goods, is widely blamed for exacerbating the Great Depression. The act sparked a wave of protectionist measures around the world, which choked off global trade and deepened the economic crisis. While the current situation is different from the 1930s, the lessons of history are clear. Protectionism is a dangerous game that rarely produces the desired results. Tariffs often lead to retaliation, higher prices, and economic harm for all involved. The current trade tensions should serve as a reminder of the importance of free and fair trade, and the need for international cooperation to address trade disputes. Section 9. A future shrouded in uncertainty. As the world awaits President Trump's tariff announcement, a cloud of uncertainty hangs over the global economy. The potential impact of the tariffs is difficult to predict with certainty. It will depend on a multitude of factors, including the specific details of the tariffs, the response of targeted countries, and the actions of businesses and consumers. The coming weeks and months will be crucial as the world watches closely to see how the trade landscape unfolds. One thing is certain, the stakes are high. The decisions made in the coming weeks will have far-reaching consequences for businesses, consumers, and the global economy. It is essential for policymakers, business leaders, and citizens to engage in thoughtful and informed dialogue about the costs and benefits of tariffs, and to work together to find solutions that promote free and fair trade for the benefit of all.